First tonight,
there are several new government ministries along with the reclassification of others. Stay tuned to Our News Tonight for more details.
Plus, the Long Island MP accusing the Davis administration of attempting to stealthily slip in changes to the Bahamas Nationality Act. We'll tell you his major concerns. And then in Our News at 7:30, the Free National Movement could see changes on their leadership team come their next convention, as the current chairman confirms he's not seeking re-election. We have the details for these stories and more as Our News 5 at 7 starts now. Welcome to our News Live at 7. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Megan Shepard. With the largest cabinet ever in Bahamian history now in play comes the creation of new ministries and portfolios. And while it's been touted as a progressive way forward, many are still asking, what roles will these new ministries play and where will the funding come from? Our Joshua Williams breaks it down.
While there are familiar ministries you all know, like the Ministry of National Security or the Ministry of Works and Family Island Affairs, there are some new ones now making decisions for the country. There is the Ministry of Urban Renewal and Community Relations, Ministry of Culture, Arts and Heritage, Ministry of Innovation and National Development, all new portfolios. While some have questioned the need for these new ministries and described the cabinet as supersized, the Davis administration, however, insisting all of them are vital to give special attention to critical areas. The Ministry of Urban Renewal and Community Relations is led by Lisa Raming, with a focus on building on the work urban renewal started following the establishment of the authority last year. The Ministry of Culture, Arts and Heritage is led by Leslie Miller Bryce. Culture was removed from the Ministry of Youth and Sports, a decision that raised some eyebrows, but officials say it's only to place greater emphasis on a vital part of our society that's growing every day. The Ministry of Transport also standing on its own, now with Leon Lundy leading the charge. Then there's the Ministry of Innovation and National Development, led by newcomer to Parliament, businessman Sabas Bastian, whom Prime Minister Philip Davis believes brings a unique skill set in helping Bahamians transition into the current technological age. And just like culture, other ministries have joined other portfolios. Like energy and aviation, they're now paired with utilities, and immigration now falls under foreign affairs. But an important question that's been raised and remains unanswered: where's the funding for all of these new ministries coming from? Recently, Finance Minister Michael Alcides gave this explanation.
You're taking allocations that were already set, but resident in a different ministry, and putting it under the new ministries. And so it's just a matter of moving things that were already in the budget under the new head, and in some cases, maybe adding some additional funds to help them.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
All right, thanks so much, Josh. Long Island Member of Parliament Dr. Andre Rollins is accusing the Davis administration of attempting to stealthily slip in changes to the Bahamas Nationality Act. The Free National Movement MP releasing a statement Wednesday evening accusing the government of not being transparent. It came just hours after the Nassau Guardian reported that an amendment to the Bahamas Nationality Act was tabled in Parliament last week. The amendment would allow the Minister of Immigration to grant a permanent residency to people whose citizenship applications have been denied for a $500 fee. Dr. Rollins said in his statement that he believes the government is attempting to use the upcoming budget debate as an opportunity to introduce, by stealth, a significant amendment that potentially will create a dangerous loophole for future exploitation. He went on to warn the government against seeking to bury something as significant as the conferral of permanent residency at a cost even cheaper than that of an annual work permit. Police are on the hunt for a suspect they say sexually assaulted and robbed a 26-year-old Cuban woman early this morning. Investigators say around 2 a.m. police received calls about a naked woman running into the yard of a Bozeman town home looking for help. When officers arrived, they met the victim, who reported she was taken to the area by the suspect. She told the officers he'd physically and sexually assaulted her. During the incident, the suspect reportedly took her personal belongings, including her purse, cash, cell phone, and passport. Emergency medical services arrived at the scene and transported the victim to the hospital for medical treatment. Her condition was not released. A Supreme Court judge has set bail at $30,000 for a senior policeman accused of murdering an American citizen. 51-year-old Superintendent Berniel Pinder was off duty when prosecutors allege he fatally shot 31-year-old Cody Castillo on March 21st following an argument outside of the Plantation Bar and Grill. Castillo, a linesman at Pike Corporation, was shot inside the company's truck, and the incident was captured on the vehicle's inside dash cam. Pinder appeared before Justice Renee McKay for a bail application today. As a condition of bail, Pinder has to wear an ankle bracelet, sign in 3 times a week, and keep her curfew. Well, the Sir Randall Fox Labor Day parades are scheduled for tomorrow, June 5th, beginning at 8 a.m. Participants will assemble and depart from Windsor Park, Collins Avenue, and Palm Tree Avenue, respectively. To ensure a safe and orderly movement, the Royal Bahamas Police Force is advising the following roads will be closed to vehicular traffic beginning at 7 a.m. and they will remain closed until the parades have passed. Those roads include East Street between Wolf Road and Bay Street, Bay Street between East Street and Navy Lion Road, Navy Lion Road between Bay Street and Marlborough Street, Marlborough Street between Navy Lion Road and West Bay Street, and West Bay Street between Marlborough Street and Chippenham Road. No parking restrictions will also be in effect for those roads from 7 a.m. until the conclusion of the parades. Parking will be prohibited on both sides of the roadways. Now, the Labor Day parade route has been designated a no-bottle zone, and the sale of alcoholic beverages by street vendors along the parade route is strictly prohibited. Additionally, ATVs, scooters, and four-wheel recreational motor vehicles will not be permitted in the parades. Participation by motorized vehicles will be limited to 2 buses only. Motorists not associated with the parades will be redirected through designated side streets, and drivers are encouraged to plan their routes accordingly and exercise caution when traveling in the affected areas. All right, well, we've still got lots more news to share tonight, but for now, meteorologist Greg Thompson is standing by in the Weather Center. Greg, happy Friday, Junior. How's it looking for the long holiday weekend?
Well, it's going to be a little cloudy across the central and southeast Bahamas as that frontal boundary now pushes into that area, but we do still have some clouds hanging across the northwest Bahamas, so maybe some sunshine. 80 degrees is our current temperature on the outside. On the cloudy skies, the winds out of the northeast at 50 miles per hour. We still have a bit of a breeze out there. And your feels like temperature still feels like you're very humid, 84 degrees. Temperatures right now around the Family of Islands, we are at 79 in Freeport, Grand Bahamas, 77 in Marsh Harbor, Abaco. We pick up 80s, Alistown, Bimini, Great Harbor, Keithbury Islands here in the capital. Another pair of 79s, Nicholstown, North Andros, Governor's Harbor, Eleuthera. Central Bahamas, 79 once again in Kemps Bay, South Andros, 80s in Black Point, Exuma Keys, Arthurstown, Kidd Island, string of 81s, Georgetown, Exuma. Say hello to the guys down there from that talk we had earlier last week. 81 degrees also in Copen Townsend, Salvador, Port Nelson, Rum Key, Deadman's Key, Long Island, 82, and into the southeast Bahamas. Warmer temperatures there. 83, Duncantown, Ragged Island, Delectable Bay, 82 in Colonel Hill, Crooked Island, Abrahams Bay, Meguana, 85, 84 in Providenciales, Turks and Caicos Islands, and Mastertown, Renagua, you remain the warm spot at 88 degrees. Satellite radar composite, well, that plume of moisture continues to stretch across our area. We do have a frontal boundary that's sticking out across the central Bahamas, all attached to a low pressure system well northeast of us. This pattern will continue. The front is going to fall stationary. We're going to see some clearing across portions of the northwest Bahamas, Grand Bahama and Abaco in particular. We expect some more showers tonight through tomorrow for most of the chain of islands. That's your first look at weather. Stick with us. A look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Coming up in sports, JJ and the New York Liberty haven't had good luck this season with expansion teams. Now they got to face Toronto in Iceman season.
Yo, what's good, my loyal viewers? Ronaldo Dorset of 10YS here. First of all, thanks so much for watching, but be sure to hit that follow button. If you'd like to see more content like this, follow all of the R News social media pages, and of course, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team, well, from the teams you already trust.
Hey, Greg Thompson here, and thank you for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button. And if you want to see more content like this, follow all of our news social media pages. And hey, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team you already trust.
Category 5 storms, catastrophic floods, budgets obliterated, economies buckling. At the same time, prices are rising, debt is mounting, and support systems are straining. The Caribbean is caught between the climate crisis and a fragmenting global financial order, and time is running out. At the 56th annual meeting, the Caribbean Development Bank is assembling leaders on the front line of climate action and international development finance. It's a frank, high-level reckoning with what must fundamentally and urgently change in the global financial order to meet the realities of small and vulnerable states. The Breakfast Exchange, a climate talk on the global economy. Join us live on Thursday, June 4th at 8 a.m. This is a conversation the region cannot delay.
It only takes a second for things to go wrong. Are you prepared? Don't become a statistic. Follow.
Welcome to Our Sports at 7, presented by 10th Year Seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. Let's do show. 2 straight wins over the Mercury has JJ and the Liberty back over 500. And the perfect way to get back on track even further, go out and win this Commissioner's Cup.
JJ had easily her best game of the season last night, leading New York to a 97-82 win over the Toronto Tempo. She finished with 22 points and 17 boards, both season highs, as the Liberty improved to 6-4 on the season. And she had it going from the opening tip. JJ had a double-double by the first half alone, 17 points and 12 boards at intermission.
Big event planned this weekend for Mingo's softball. They have their first ever girls prospect evaluation at Bankers Field. Hosted Saturday at 9 a.m., Mingo's head coach Ivana McDonald will evaluate 35 grades 11 and 12 players from schools across the country. The prospect camp is a part of UB's continuing effort to rebuild its women's softball program. Bahamas baseball has been on the rise internationally, and the local governing body looks forward to even more success this weekend, coming from a talented 14U group at the Pony Baseball Caribbean and Latin American Zone Championships. Bahamas Baseball Association President Clarence McKinsey cited the country's recent second-place finishes at both the Senior Caribbean Cup and the Under-15 Caribbean Cup as signs of things to come. Expectations for this particular squad are even higher. The core group returns after their performance last year at the 12U Pony Championships, where they placed 3rd. That'll do it for sports. We'll be back for more. Stick around for a minute. Our news at 7:30, right around the corner.
When our news comes back from the break, we turn our spotlight to stories making headlines across the world, as the U.S. House of Representatives approved a resolution to block President Trump from continuing the 3-month-old war against Iran. Plus, protesters clash with police in Chile's capital over their president's planned education cuts. And then in tonight's edition of Sustainability First, Atlantis Resort gearing up to celebrate World Oceans Day. They're using the global market to remind Bahamians about the importance of our marine resources. We have the details when our news returns.
It only takes a second for things to go wrong. Are you prepared? Don't become a statistic. Follow these simple rules. Leave early, obey road signs, wear seatbelts, invest in hands-free devices, and don't drink and drive. I'm Inspector Gerard Cum of the Royal Bahamas Police Force, reminding you that road safety is no accident.
You're stuck in traffic again. But that gridlock isn't just frustrating you, it's quietly strangling the Caribbean's growth. Lost productivity, stagnating economies, competitiveness quietly eroding every single day. Traffic congestion is no longer just a transport problem. It's a measurable drag on regional development, a constraint that hasn't been adequately addressed until now. The Caribbean Development Bank is unveiling EdgeX, Analytics Unlocked, a bold new platform turning cutting-edge regional research into real policy action. First under the microscope, stuck in traffic. What congestion is costing the Caribbean? Data, modeling, analysis, and a frank conversation about what must change, because the region cannot afford to keep absorbing losses. Join us online, Friday, June 5th at 10 a.m. This is where analysis becomes action. Don't miss it.
This is our news. Welcome back. We turn our attention now to stories making headlines across the world. The Republican-led U.S. House of Representatives approved a resolution on Wednesday to block President Donald Trump from continuing the 3-month-old war against Iran. The House voted 215 to 208 as 4 Republicans voted with Democrats in favor of the War Powers Resolution, which directs Trump to withdraw U.S. troops from Iran unless Congress declares war or authorizes the use of military force. For now, the vote is largely symbolic, as legislation must pass the Senate as well as the House to become effective. And there is debate over whether war powers resolutions would be constitutional, even if they are approved by Congress. Thousands of students, teachers, and social activists clashed with police in the Chilean capital Wednesday during a massive march against President Jose Antonio Cast's education cuts and austerity measures. Cast, who took office March 11th, has pledged to cut roughly $6 billion in public spending over 18 months in an effort to improve the country's fiscal accounts. As part of this plan, his government is forcing a nearly 3% budget cut across all ministries. Although the march began peacefully, tensions escalated as clashes broke out between protesters and police. Officers used water cannons and tear gas to disperse crowds, while some demonstrators threw rocks and other objects. Several streets were blocked and multiple subway stations were closed. For months, 2 million residents of Havana have lived with piles of garbage accumulating on almost every street corner. The situation deteriorated after a U.S. energy blockade triggered power outages, water shortages, and a fuel crisis that brought state-run garbage trucks to a standstill. Without garbage collection, residents have begun burning waste in the streets, raising alarm among health officials over potentially toxic smoke. An official at the Ministry of Science, Technology, and the Environment warned the current garbage collection situation, combined with rising temperatures and impending rains, could worsen the situation. The heat and moisture threaten to trigger a proliferation of disease-carrying flies and mosquitoes. Guyana is expected to exceed 1 million barrels of oil production per day by the end of 2026, as the government intensifies its calls for citizens and businesses to position themselves to benefit from expanding opportunities across the oil and gas sector and the wider economy. Senior Minister within the Office of the President with responsibility for finance, Dr. Singh, noted that the country's oil production has grown rapidly since 2019 and is set to continue expanding significantly. Well, June 8th is celebrated as World Oceans Day, and this year's theme is Strong Marine Protected Areas for Our Blue Planet. We spoke with Atlantis' team on the importance of coral reefs being our first line of defense. Take a look.
Bahamas First, putting sustainability first for our people and our environment. What's first for you and the planet comes first for us.
It's where we go for recreation. It's what our tourists pay top dollar to come and enjoy. And it's a main source of food and livelihood. Elgin Hepburn, Atlantis' Associate Director of Water Features, reminds us that we're surrounded by water and depend on it for so many things. The ocean is home to marine life, coral reefs, and endangered species. It's one of the main reasons Atlantis partnered with the government to establish a marine protected area in Andros.
The Atlantis Blue Project Foundation was the one to donate to fund it to make sure that that became a reality. And we're thankful that 1.4 million acres of marine protected area in Andros is a reality. And there are so many species that depend on that, including small-tooth sawfish, which is a critically endangered species. They've been found in that area. And we're hoping that nobody trashes that area so those species can continue to thrive.
It's that same kind of thinking that Hepburn hopes Bahamians will consider, given the threats to some of the delicacies we enjoy.
We've got a closed season for lobsters because they've been overfished and poaching and everything. So we want Bahamians to remember that don't catch them during the closed season. Don't catch them, they're too small. Give them a chance to reproduce so that we could have them for the future. And the Queen Conquer the same thing. We eat too much of it as Bahamians, so we need to back up on that and follow the rules. Make sure you measure them, make sure they're the right size, make sure they're matured before you harvest them.
On June 8th, Atlantis is giving locals and guests the chance to get up close and personal with their conservation efforts. Senior aquarist Aaron Kelly says it's a reminder that protecting our waters means protecting our future.
June 8th, we have our Creatively Blue World Oceans Day celebration. So locals as well as guests, you can come out to the Coral Lobby between 9 and I would say 3 p.m. We do have live touch tank systems that you guys can come out. You can meet baby sharks, sea turtles, as well as sea stars. Come out, learn about the sea animals, and you can also learn about the Blue Project Foundation, learn about all of the restoration efforts and conservation efforts that we have here on the resort, learn about our critically endangered animals and how this day gives back to the community as well as the environment.
Reporting for our news and reminding you to put sustainability first, I'm Megan Shepard. On the other side of this break, the countdown to the Bahamas Carnival Road March is coming to a close, as all roads lead to Arawak Key this coming Saturday. And then in our news at 7:30, a lifestyle medicine physician warns about the dangers of excessive drinking, particularly as we prepare for the long holiday weekend. That's coming up when our news continues.
Conflict doesn't have to end in chaos. Before it escalates, take a breath. Step back. Choose peace. Listen to understand. Respectful conversations lead to real solutions. I am Sergeant 3599 Johnson of the Royal Bahamas Police Force, urging you, let's talk it out, not fight it out.
Picture this: a Caribbean economy pursuing growth, investing in infrastructure, building resilience, and yet buckling under the weight of debt. Debt that was manageable until interest rates spiked, until the hurricane hit, until a global shock struck. But new approaches are emerging. Together with partners, the Caribbean Development Bank is redefining how debt is structured, reducing costs, and linking debt relief directly to development outcomes. The CDB seminar on innovative debt solutions will examine bold financing tools that can redefine how the Caribbean escapes the debt trap. Getting this right is not optional. Be part of the solution. Join us online live on Thursday, June 4th at 2:30 p.m.
Danielle here. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. And if you want to see more great content, be sure to hit that notification button and follow the team you already trust.
My name is Trevi Williams. I've been a Live Fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent on the services, so I was very grateful that the live fiber was available in my area. Once I was able to make the switch, my service and everything I needed was satisfied. My favorite feature would actually be being able to add any apps from the Play Store. It's just basically making any dumb TV a smart TV. I do a lot of back-end support, engineering support, helping clients working remotely when I'm from home. The internet is a very important aspect of my job and my life. My name is Trevi Williams, and the future is home with a live fiber.
A trade war erupts. Commodity prices spike. A geopolitical crisis unfolds thousands of miles away. But within weeks, the Caribbean feels it. Higher prices, tighter fiscal space.
The countdown to the Bahamas Carnival Road March 2026 is coming to a close. On Saturday, both local and international revelers will gather at Arawak Key and make their way to Goodman's Bay dressed in vibrantly decorated costumes created by local talent. Logistics manager for Bahamas Masqueraders brand and lead designer for the group's Aurora section, Ashad Bow, says the process of creating the costumes is a labor-intensive one, as each one is handmade. However, he believes it's all a part of the art and passion for culture.
We have a team of designers, and we all have a Junkanoo background. Some persons think that Carnival and Junkanoo don't coexist, but we all go to Bay Street and we all come to the Carnival Mass Camp. So we all sit here, we deliberate as designers, we design, we create a concept, a theme, similar to Junkanoo. We create a theme, we execute, and then we produce.
Now, the band's website says costumes are no longer available, leaving only road party packages for purchase, which include a t-shirt, shorts, and a hat. With prices beginning at $250, Bo says a common misunderstanding is that this fee is solely for the attire.
It's drinks inclusive and meal inclusive. All right, so a lot of persons think it's just the package, but it's a full experience from the beginning to the end.
All right, well, that does it for our news at 7. Italia Hall Thomas is up next at 7:30. But first, it's time now for Thursday is the New Friday with entertainment correspondent Danielle Miller. And tonight, she's getting the weekend started. Danny, how's it going? Where are you?
Megan, I am at the Merchant's Cellar. This is the store in Harbor Bay. I did a story on it, I think, last month, where this is a sip and shop experience. And I did not just come here for the wine. I came here because it is a holiday weekend, and I am about to be outside attending sausage and grits. And I came for a fan. I got 2 cups in here, one for alcohol, one for water, because it's important that you stay hydrated. And that lesson was reiterated to me by Dr. Adelie from Doctors Hospital. We have a report coming up from her in our 7:30 p.m. broadcast about the dangers of over-consuming alcohol. We want to remind you that, yes, it is a weekend to have fun, but make sure you do so responsibly. All right, guys and gals, you know the drill. Until next weekend, thanks, child. Deuces. Back to y'all in studio.
Great advice, Denny. Thanks so much.
All right, well, stay tuned to our news on Thursdays to see more escapades like that one with our Danielle Miller. Here are your latest headlines. Coming up tonight on our news at 7:30, a 28-year-old man learned his fate in court today, receiving his sentence for a serious crime committed while he was still a minor. But first, Dr. Dwayne Tan says he will not seek re-election as chairman of the Free National Movement, signaling a major leadership shift ahead of the party's next convention. Plus, with the hurricane season officially here, Bahamas Power and Light says preparations are already underway to protect the country's power grid and speed up recovery efforts after storms. And later, Great Commission Ministries is once again urging the government to provide land for a permanent homeless shelter, saying decades of delays have hindered efforts to expand services for those in need. This story when our news at 7:30 returns.
Across industries, more women are stepping into careers in tech and energy, but exposure remains key to all.
Hey guys, Megan Shepherd here. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to click that subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. Just click right over here. And don't forget to turn on your notifications so you stay up to date with content like this from the team you already trust.
Doctors Hospital is reimagined primary care. We have invested to improve our health system, ensuring that accessible, affordable, world-class clinical care is closer to you. Your relationship with a primary care provider shapes the foundation of your overall health. Our new, modern primary care facilities are where critical diagnosis and true personalized treatment begin. With locations across New Providence, Grand Bahama, and Exuma, we invite you to experience the Doctors Hospital difference. Book your next appointment at clinics.doctorshos.com.
I'm very excited, and I can't believe it. It's it's a dream come true. When she did call me yesterday about it, I didn't know what to believe. Thanks to Mr. Coleman and his whole staff for what they do, and making sure the customers are taken care of, making sure we enjoy the gaming they do give to us. Chances is the great house to play, even down to the staff, is perfect. You're going to marvel.
Wendy's and Coca-Cola want to take you and your bestie to New Orleans. July 3rd through 5th is Essence Fest, and you could be traveling VIP style. All you gotta do is upgrade any premium lunch combo 1 through 12 or a salad to a large, like a spicy number 6, add cheese and bacon, or my personal favorite, tendies. Nola! We coming back?
When I wake up in the morning and I take a walk outside, I see the sunshine, I see a new day, and that feeling puts a smile right on my face. I know just what to do, go to the paint place. So if you wanna paint it right the first time, go to the paint place, stop at the paint place.
Election as chairman when the party meets for convention. Many shocked by the revelation made by the seasoned politician who's been involved in public life for over 10 years. Sands in the LAC general election, running in the Bamboo Town constituency, losing to Progressive Liberal Party incumbent and member of Parliament Patricia DeVoe. And while it's unclear when the party will hold its next convention, Sands says he'll be bowing out.
It's a personal decision. I mean, I don't think I'm minded to go through all of the reasons why I made that decision, but it's the right thing for me and my family at this time. I am still the chairman of the Free National Movement. I will continue to serve to the best of my ability. And, the FNM is in good hands. And I believe that, we will perform our duties as His Majesty's loyal opposition.
So what's next for Dr. Sands after he steps away from political life?
Stay tuned, my brother. Stay tuned. Okay? It's important that, we all make decisions based on a number of things. What's good for self, what's good for family, what's good for party, what's good for country. And, I have looked at those metrics. And as of right now, I'm going to, this is the right decision for me.
Imagine taking out your debit card at the grocery store to pay for a purchase only to find out the transaction cannot be completed. That nightmare was a reality this week for some Bank of the Bahamas customers. On May 13th, the bank posted a notice on its social media page of there being temporary service disruptions for 3 days as they upgrade their systems, but the issues didn't end there. On June 2nd, Bahamians took to social media to voice their frustrations over allegedly not being able to utilize online banking services, ATM machines, and Visa debit cards. Local TikTok creator Christian Russell went viral this week after he captured the frustration of customers in a BOB branch and posted it on TikTok.
When I went inside, I said, it's 2 o'clock and they're full. What type of banking are they going to do in the hour? Because BOB closed like around 3. So I asked my friend who was on the line, he came because his card wasn't working and his online banking wasn't working. So I asked other people in the bank and all of them said the same thing.
And the nightmare continued for some customers. Just days later, the bank posted another notice after account holders reported finding duplicate charges on their accounts, draining their balances. Our news team reached out to the bank directly to get a statement, but did not receive a response up to news time. Roll, who's been a customer of the bank since 2022, says he'd wish there had been better communication.
No one reached out. No one, at least you would say, okay, we let it lie. If somebody would come periodically and say, hey, we're trying our best. It's a crisis that we ourselves have no control over, but please bear with us. No one said that. No one came out. No one offered no ease to relieve all of the Bahamians' pain. No one.
Switching gears now, a 28-year-old man learned his fate today for a crime he committed as a minor. Senior Justice Cheryl Grant Thompson sentenced the convict, identified by his initials JJ, to 3 years in prison for the indecent assault of his 9-year-old cousin. He was found guilty of humping the girl while she slept with her 5-year-old sister. The complainant woke up and saw JJ leaving the room. The incident allegedly took place in New Providence on April 27, 2014, when the convict was 16. The case is the country's first criminal trial to be heard without a jury. With forecasters predicting nearly a dozen named storms this hurricane season, Bahamas Power and Light CEO Tony Seymour says they're ramping up preparations for what's expected to be a busy season. We're no strangers to storms and the devastating impacts they can bring, not only damaging personal property but also disrupting the local power grid for weeks at a time. And while storms are not something we can avoid, Seymour says is something they can prepare for.
We order our hurricane supplies, we shore up our generating stations, we make sure we have sufficient fuel on hand on all of the islands. One of the things we've learned is that storm hardening is very, very important. The wooden poles are, cheaper, the cheaper option, but we know that in high winds they snap, they break, so the metal poles or the fiberglass poles we found are more resilient, and our objective is to build a resilient and sustainable network, so that will be the objective moving forward.
And when it comes to Inagua down in the south, the CEO says they're also receiving much needed assistance.
So it's just the commissioning of the 2 engines there to shore up our generation supply ahead of the summer peak. So, we have a summer readiness program that we are aggressively addressing throughout all of the family islands. And we know that we did experience some generation challenges in the southern Bahamas recently. And so we're trying to address those ahead of the heat.
All right, well, cool weather conditions on this Thursday. Wondering what the holiday weekend will bring? Well, meteorologist Greg Thompson is in a weather center with your first look. Greg, what can you tell us?
Yeah, thanks, Natalia, and a happy Thursday evening, everybody. Gray skies on the outside once again, cloudy conditions, temperature at 80 degrees. Still have a bit of breeze out there, northeast winds at 15 miles per hour, and they are gusting high at times. Feels like 84 on the outside. Satellite and radar composite. This is the setup. We have a frontal boundary that sticks out of the Atlantic across the central Bahamas. It's expected to fall stationary, but it's continuing to provide the spark for some showers and thunderstorms as it draws a lot of moisture out of the Gulf of Mexico across our area. So we're looking for more showers and thunderstorms in the forecast. Some slight clearing across the extreme northern islands expected, but look for some showers throughout the night and into tomorrow if you have plans for the weekend. That's a quick check on conditions around the islands. Stick with us. A look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Still to come in our news as Bahamians enjoy the long holiday weekend, medical experts are reminding the public to celebrate responsibly. Tonight, a lifestyle medicine physician discusses the health risks linked to excessive alcohol consumption. But first, Great Commission Ministries is once again urging the government to provide land for a permanent homeless shelter, saying decades of delays have hindered efforts to expand services for those in need. That's all coming up when our news returns.
It only takes a second for things to go wrong. Are you prepared? Don't become a statistic. Follow these simple rules. Leave early, obey road signs, wear seatbelts, invest in hands-free devices, and don't drink and drive. I'm Inspector Gerard Cum of the Royal Bahamas Police Force, reminding you that road safety is no accident.
Stuck in traffic again. But that gridlock isn't just frustrating you, it's quietly strangling the Caribbean's growth. Lost productivity, stagnating economies, competitiveness quietly eroding every single day. Traffic congestion is no longer just a transport problem. It's a measurable drag on regional development, a constraint that hasn't been adequately addressed until now. The Caribbean Development Bank is unveiling EdgeX, Analytics Unlocked, a bold new platform turning cutting-edge regional research into real policy action. First under the microscope, stuck in traffic. What congestion is costing the Caribbean? Data, modeling, analysis, and a frank conversation about what must change, because the region cannot afford to keep absorbing losses. Join us online Friday, June 5th at 10 a.m. This is where analysis becomes action. Don't miss it.
Great Commission Ministries is once again appealing to the government for land, saying its efforts to build a permanent homeless shelter have been stalled for decades, despite a growing need for housing and support services across the country. The ministry says it remains committed to helping the poor, but needs land to expand its reach. Our Delvardo Emmanuel reports.
Mr. George Markey served as the Minister of Social Services, that we applied for land to build some homes for the homeless, to do some farming, 10 acres of land. And to date, in 2026, we have no land.
Standing on the site where a 100-bed Hope City homeless shelter was planned for Carmichael Road, Bishop Walter Hanchel says his ministry has been seeking land since 1990. And just when it appears that dream was finally within reach, the project hit a major roadblock. After years of waiting, Great Commission Ministries received approvals to develop the property and even began foundational work. But construction came to a halt when questions were raised about ownership of the land, leaving the project in limbo. Hanchel says the issue was brought to the attention of the Prime Minister's office, but the ministry is still waiting for a resolution.
We have seen so many people, years after we applied, years after, we've seen so many people got crown grants of 10 acres, 20 acres, 5 acres, 2 acres, and Great Commission Ministries has received not one tract of land to take care of the poor.
Hanchel says the need for a larger facility has never been greater. He notes that Great Commission Ministries provide food for more than 600 people daily, assisting families facing eviction, and operates a shelter for homeless men, women, and children. While he says he is happy to see other individuals, churches, and organizations receive Crown land, Hanchel believes the work his ministry does should qualify it for similar support.
We need at least 10 acres of land because it's not just the construction of the facility, but we want to build some single-family homes, and we also want to do some farming. So a 10, 20 acres tract would do us well.
Hanchel says if a government solution doesn't materialize, the ministry will look to the private sector for help acquiring land. But after more than 3 decades of waiting, he admits the process has taken an emotional toll.
I feel disappointed. I feel like giving up, but I won't. I'm going to fight, and I'm going to believe God that He would supply this need.
Now, Great Commission says it remains committed in developing this homeless shelter despite the setbacks, and is now exploring private land purchases and private donors to help push the project forward. Reporting for Our News, I'm Delvardo Emmanuel.
As global uncertainty continues to impact economies across the region, leaders of major multilateral development banks gathered in Nassau for a timely discussion on how to navigate the challenges ahead. During the Caribbean Development Bank's 56th Annual Board of Governors meeting, the President's Chat panel examined strategies for supporting countries through economic shocks, climate threats, and development delays. Our Megan Shepard reports.
The Caribbean continues to face a complex mix of economic, climate, and social challenges, making flexibility and partnerships more important than ever. That was the message from regional development leaders during the President's Chat panel held as part of the Caribbean Development Bank's 56th Annual Board of Governors meeting in Nassau. Gisela Sanchez, Executive President of the Central American Bank for Economic Integration, says development institutions must be prepared to adapt to rapidly changing conditions.
I will say the first word that comes to mind is adaptability, making scenarios, because we are facing so many challenges at the same time that we cannot use a single model. And the second one is use our core competencies and create partnerships to face these challenges in the best way possible.
Caribbean Development Bank President Daniel Best said multilateral development banks play a critical role during times of crisis, particularly when member countries are at their most vulnerable.
Multilateral development banks such as the three of ours have a counter-cyclical mandate. It is when our countries experience severe economic shocks that they need us the most. And it is in that time that we are almost cautioned against trying to step forward and support. It isn't intuitive. And supporting our countries at their most vulnerable points isn't taking risks. It is what we are set up to do.
Best also addressed one of the biggest challenges to development project delays. He said the bank is working to strengthen implementation capacity to ensure communities benefit from critical investments sooner.
Should take seconds, sometimes takes months to get an evaluation back. And every dollar of development delayed is an actual life that is not benefiting from that school, from that road, from that reliable water. So these are the conversations we have. What we're doing right now, of course, with every project that we do, we assess the implementation capacity of the entity. And whether it is we put some TA in place to help boost it, or we try to increase the supervision missions, or we even assist with providing a procurement consultant.
The discussion highlighted the growing need for development institutions to be more collaborative and responsive as the region navigates for increasingly uncertain global landscape. Reporting for Our News, I'm Megan Shepard.
It's now time for tonight's Financial Market Minute, brought to you by RF, your local investment bank. This has been your Financial Market Minute. To explore the best performing mutual funds in the Bahamas, visit our website at www.rfgroup.com.
Coming up in sports, JJ and the Liberty begin their chase for the Commissioner's Cup, and we have so many reasons to keep the rain away this weekend. Team Bahamas hits the field in youth baseball, and UB softball is on the hunt.
Every year, car theft in the Bahamas rises. Thieves are getting smarter and faster. Is your car a target? Compact vehicles are at risk. Don't become a victim. Simple steps can make all the difference. Lock your car. Invest in anti-theft devices. Park smart. Protect yourself. Stay alert. I am PC 4392, Trayshawn Ferguson. Stay vigilant. Report suspicious activity. And let's create safer communities together. Learn more by visiting theroyalbahamaspoliceforce.org.
Don't spend hours sending individual messages to your customers. Use SMS messaging instead. With Cable Bahamas Business Solutions SMS messaging, you can send personalized messages to hundreds or even thousands of recipients instantly. It's quick, effortless, and cost-effective. Plus, it ensures that your messages are delivered directly to your customers' cellular phones, guaranteeing higher engagement. Save time and boost your outreach with SMS bulk messaging. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions at 601-8911 in Nassau or 602-8811 in the Family Islands.
The dangers are escalating. Vaping liquid marijuana is on the rise, damaging lungs and increasing stroke risk. And a deadly new trend, lean, cough syrup, soda, and candy, a lethal combination that can cause seizures and even death. Possession means arrest and prosecution. I am Corporal 2641 Rory Fox of the Royal Bahamas Police Force. Protect your loved ones. Learn more by visiting our website.
From 2017, one show has set the standard for current affairs in the Bahamas.
Welcome to Our Sports, presented by 10th Year Seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. Let's do show. 2 straight wins over the Mercury has JJ and the Liberty back over 500. And the perfect way to get back on track even further, go out and win this Commissioner's Cup.
JJ had easily her best game of the season last night, leading New York to a 97-82 win over the Toronto Tempo. But Toronto is winning in a lot of ways, so they'll be fine. She finished with 22 points and 17 boards, both season highs, as the Liberty improved to 6-4 on the season. And she had it going from the opening tip. JJ had a double-double by the first half alone, 17 points and 12 boards at intermission. New York overcame an early deficit and pulled away late for their 3rd straight win. setting up Saturday night's highly anticipated matchup against the Indiana Fever.
I think just getting on the glass, I think worked really well. I think that we also have looked at different ways to be effective in our offense, and I think I'm getting more comfortable being a ball handler in the offense and being able to get downhill and just trusting all of the things that we do in practice to be able to go out there on the court and do it. I think the most sustainable thing for us for the win tonight is I think our defensive intensity, our defensive pressure, and just understanding that when we're really locked in, we can be a really great defensive team.
Big event planned this weekend for Mingos softball. They have their first ever girls prospect evaluation at Bankers Field. Hosted Saturday at 9 a.m., Mingos head coach Ivana McDonald will evaluate 35 grades 11 and 12 players from schools across the country. The prospect camp is a part of UB's continuing effort to rebuild its women's softball program.
We would visit USSSA, you'd visit BISS games, being able to see it all come together. I'm really excited for that. I'm also excited to see the defensive and offensive evaluations, whether that we're testing exit velocity off your bat or speed coming off of your arm and your throwing velocity.
Bahamas baseball has been on the rise internationally, and the local governing body looks forward to even more success this weekend, coming from a talented 14U group at the Pony Baseball Caribbean and Latin American Zone Championships. Bahamas Baseball Association President Clarence McKinsey cited the country's recent second-place finishes at both the Senior Caribbean Cup and the Under-15 Caribbean Cup as signs of things to come. Expectations for this particular squad are even higher. The core group returns after their performance last year at the 12U Pony Championships, where they placed third.
Our country continues to build momentum on the international baseball stage. Our last major international tournament, the 7th Caribbean Baseball Cup, we saw Team Bahamas make history with an impressive second-place finish. That accomplishment demonstrated the growth of baseball in our nation and showed that Bahamian athletes can compete with the very best in this region.
That'll do it for our sports. This is 10YS, and don't scoff at winning the Commissioner's Cup. In-season tournaments matter. Who played for the Emirates Cup in the NBA? Knicks and Spurs. Who's in the finals? Knicks and Spurs. So all the Liberty have to do, win the Commissioner's Cup, we're all good. I think.
Still ahead on our news tonight as Bahamians enjoy the long holiday weekend, medical experts are reminding the public to celebrate responsibly. Tonight, a lifestyle medicine physician discusses the health risks linked to excessive alcohol consumption. Our Daniel Miller has a story when our news returns. Stay with us.
Every year, car theft in the Bahamas rises. Thieves are getting smarter and faster. Is your car a target? Compact vehicles are at risk. Don't become a victim. Simple steps can make all the difference. Lock your car. Invest in anti-theft devices. Park smart. Protect yourself. Stay alert. I am PC 4392, Trayshawn Ferguson. Stay vigilant. Report suspicious activity. And let's create safer communities together. Learn more by visiting theroyalbahamaspoliceforce.org.
Don't spend hours sending individual messages to your customers. Use SMS messaging instead. With Cable Bahamas Business Solutions SMS messaging, you can send personalized messages to hundreds or even thousands of recipients instantly. It's quick, effortless, and cost-effective. Plus, it ensures that your messages are delivered directly to your customers' cellular phones, guaranteeing higher engagement. Save time and boost your outreach with SMS bulk messaging. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions at 601-8911 in Nassau or 602-8811 in the Family Islands.
The dangers are escalating. Vaping liquid marijuana is on the rise, damaging lungs and increasing stroke risk. And a deadly new trend, lean, cough syrup, soda, and candy, a lethal combination that can cause seizures and even death. Possession means arrest and prosecution. I am Corporal 2641 Rory Fox of the Royal Bahamas Police Force. Protect your loved ones. Learn more by visiting our website.
One show has set the standard for current affairs in the Bahamas, and that's On the Record, one of the longest running current affairs shows on RTV. We've been the place where newsmakers come to talk. We've sat down with leaders in government, industry leaders, cultural icons, and international experts. From breaking news to in-depth analysis, our conversation sets
This is our news. Welcome back. Frontal boundary draped across the central Bahamas, attached to a low-pressure system well out there in the northern Atlantic, That's going to continue to spark some showers and some thunderstorms across most of the chain of islands. The northwest Bahamas getting most of the action, and then the central Bahamas, that front is expected to stall there. Also drawing still a lot of moisture out of the Gulf of Mexico with a disturbance out there. We will continue to watch this as we are now into the 4th day of the Atlantic hurricane season, and we're going to continue to watch things across the tropics. Right now, nothing happening out there. A couple of tropical waves, one moving off the African coast, another one approaching the northern coast of South America into the Caribbean. Quiet conditions there, but we do have a lot of activity in the Pacific. They actually do have the first system out there, and we continue to watch things over the next several days. Fitch forecast showing the moisture attached to that frontal boundary draped across our area will continue to provide us with some showers and thunderstorms. Slight clearing tomorrow, but most of the activity staying into the central Bahamas through Friday and into Saturday. We get some clearing once again, spotty showers expected, and that should take us in to Sunday. Boating forecast, northwest Bahamas and central Bahamas tonight to tomorrow. Caution flag for the Atlantic side still. The winds are going to be northeasterly at 15 knots. Seas running 3 to 5 feet over open waters. High tide is at 11:32 tonight. The low tide takes place at 6:06 in the morning. For the southeast Bahamas, caution flag for the Atlantic side as well down there. Your winds slightly weaker. East to southeast winds 10 to 15 knots, seas 2 to 4 feet, but a little higher on the Atlantic side. Here's a look now at your national forecast. In the extended forecast, this is how things are going to be shaping up. We do keep showers in the forecast tomorrow. They're going to be a little spotty, but we get a influx of some moisture coming in on the weekend. Saturday and Sunday looks to have some more showers in there. So if you have plans for the weekend, of course, tomorrow being a holiday, you may have to keep those rain gear and your umbrellas handy. That's a look at our weather. Make it a safe night, everybody.
All right, thanks so much for that, Greg. Well, the active holiday weekend offers a variety of events for you to relax and celebrate, but experts say as you have fun, it's also important to stay healthy. In this next report, our Daniel Miller spoke to a lifestyle medicine physician at Doctors Hospital regarding the serious risks associated with excessive alcohol consumption.
From Family Island Regattas to the Carnival Road March in New Providence, the Labor Day weekend is filled with celebratory events. Most of these events see hundreds of locals and visitors enjoying alcoholic beverages. Regrettably, for some, the indulgence may turn into excess.
Short term, this is within minutes or days of drinking alcohol. We think of it as mental effects, so you're thinking of lack of coordination, poor judgment, risky behavior, confusion, stupor.
These are the risks you can encounter by overconsuming alcohol, according to lifestyle medicine physician at Doctors Hospital, Dr. Blair Woodside Adderley. She also mentions that the heat associated with outdoor activities creates a cocktail of complications.
Alcohol makes you dehydrated almost immediately. It's one of the first things. It depresses something called ADH in the brain that kind of inhibits you from holding or retaining water.
And the most detrimental of them all, vomit asphyxiation.
If you see someone's vomiting, put them on their side or even help them to vomit. So put your fingers down, help them to eject whatever's in there.
Now, Dr. Adderley advises if symptoms become more severe, you should take that person to a medical doctor immediately. Reporting for our news and reminding you to drink responsibly, I'm Danielle Miller.
All right, thanks so much for that, Danielle. And with that, we thank you so much for joining us for our news tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Natalia Hall-Thomas. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a great holiday weekend and stay safe.
Hi, and thank you for watching. I'm Natalia Hall. Be sure and hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. Click right over here. And don't forget to turn on your notifications to see more content from the team